Howdy, my name is Justin, and this is my YouTube channel, American Pie. Today, I'm going to go over Leetcode question number 961, n repeated elements in a size 2n array. To start with, you're given the following instructions. You are given an integer array nums with the following properties. The length of the array is 2 times n. Nums contains n plus 1 unique elements. Exactly one element of nums is repeated n number of times. Return the element that is repeated n times. Now, this description is a little confusing for me because when I first attempted to try this problem, I thought, okay, well, the length of numbers is 2 times n, so if I just divide the length of the array by 2, I could get the result, but that is apparently not the solution. At least if you look at the example here, you can see nums is 1, 2, 3, 3, so it has a length of 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2, but the output is 3. Basically, what we can learn from these examples is that this question is essentially just asking to find the repeated numbers within the set, and there's only one number in the set that is going to be repeating. This makes solving it relatively intuitive. Finally, just briefly reviewing the constraints, we can see that there's always going to be greater than 2 elements. All the elements will be even and less than 10 to the 4th power, and there's always going to be one unique repeated element that's repeated exactly n times. So with that being said, we know that there cannot be multiple repeated elements. So as long as we can find the first repeating element, we can solve this. Now, how can we find the first repeating element? Let's go over some ways. The first and most obvious way that I can think of to solve this is to use a set. A set is a data structure of elements that are non-repeating. Now, an additional way we might be able to solve this is to have an array of booleans that keeps track of whatever elements we have seen. But this is probably a bad idea given that there are 10 to the 4 possible elements in our numbers array. So that leads me to my third idea, which is that we could actually sort the number array, and then once it's sorted, we can just do a basic array traversal and look for the first repeated element. After looking at all 3 possibilities I identified, I decided I'm going to go with the first way. So let's go ahead and get started. First, I'm going to create a set. This set's job is to keep track of all the elements that we've already seen when we traverse the list of numbers. Then we need to traverse the list of numbers. So I'm using this basic iterator, and I am going to check if the current number that we are looking at has been seen, and if it has been seen, we're going to return. If it hasn't been seen, we're going to add it to our list or our set of seen elements. Finally, we need a default return value. So our default return value is just going to be the start of the numbered list. Line number 6 here is doing the heavy lifting because it checks if we've seen a number, and if we've seen it, we know it's a duplicate. So as you can see, this passed our test results. Let's go ahead and submit it and see if it passes. Alright, and as you can see, it passed all test cases. It has a 0 millisecond runtime and outperforms 100% of submissions.